On matters at hand here in South Africa. And of course, the big story is the COSATU Congress. It's happening this week here at Gallagher in Midrand. And our reporter, Aldrin Sampear, is there. He's covering the story, but he's got Sdumo Dlamini with him. And we look forward to this interview. So, Aldrin, a very good morning to you, and it's over to you.
Well, yeah, very good morning from Gallagher Estate. Yeah, in Midrand, delegates are expected to make their way to the plenary hall where they will discuss issues around the organizational report as well as the financial report. And I guess as the media, those are some of the things that we really be looking forward to. And right now I'm joined by the president of COSATU, Sdumo Dlamini, who is leading by example, one of the first people to arrive here. Good morning, Mr. Dlamini. One of the first people to arrive here. Why are you here so early?
We have to be exemplary. We said we're starting at 9. If we start at 9, I should be earlier than that.
And speaking about leading and being exemplary, yesterday, when the nominations were being made for the national office bearers, it was almost like a consensus that the 5 positions were uncontested except for the Deputy Secretary General.
That is correct. But remember, we shall be receiving the announcement of the results of the elections on Thursday. We now know that 5 positions are uncontested, but an announcement as a procedure of COSATU will be done on Thursday.
I remember in previous interviews while speaking to you, you said that that is actually the way to go. Consensus is the way to go. You've been mentioning as well that when you became the president of COSATU, you have been there at the helm ever since, and it was through consensus, and you guys have remained united except for one person who has left and has been expelled, and that's Aldrin Sampear.
Those are the values we have to resuscitate. Agreeing on decisions through consensus and persuasions. Whilst the Constitution says you need to vote, yes, voting is constitutional, but it is good when comrades agree and reach a decision because that confirms that they will go on united.
Doesn't that then erode what democracy stands for? Some people almost feel like I don't want to be the person standing up next to Sdumo Dlamini, who has all the experience and obviously who has all the support.
We all as leaders have a duty to nurture new leadership. I've already begun to do that work for quite some time now. I know that there are many young and capable leaders who are ready to be presidents of COSATU, who are ready to be general secretaries of COSATU. So we invest in developing and building leadership for the future of our organization.
And one of the issues yesterday, that contestation that came from FAO as well as SACAO, did that at all concern you?
Not at all. What you must look at is that FAO and SACAO were making their arguments at the Congress of COSATU internally in a proper way. Leave it that there would be emotions running high and other people responding in a particular way. This was the parliament of the workers, and they had a right to express their views, and that is what we want. That is what I've been calling for. Don't shout from outside. Come inside and express to the fullest your view. We will be listening, and indeed that is what is happening.
Would it be right then for some commentators to say that yesterday what happened with SACAO and FAO was an indication of divisions within COSATU?
Look, yes and no, because you do not expect workers, you do not expect our unions to be moving same stream. Once that happens, then it is not the COSATU that you know. Historically, there's been divergent views within the federation, but they have always been well managed. FAO and SACAO are the integral part of COSATU, and they constitute a very important component of COSATU unions in the sectors where they are, and they must express the views of their members.
You say the views of their members. Yesterday, SATU's I think it's President or General Secretary, if I'm not mistaken, Gwena Malulek, he said that FAO is expressing the views not of the workers but the views of NUMSA, which has been expelled.
Look, I'm the president of COSATU, and I listen to affiliates expressing themselves in different ways. What is critical is that at the end of the day, the decision that is taken is a uniting decision. Whatever SATU was expressing, the way they're expressing it, it was within the context of a debate. It was not necessarily the decision of Congress or the view of Congress. It becomes the view of the comrade who expressed the view. At the end of the debate, the view of the Congress emerges as it happened yesterday. And FAU has circled with that, SACAU has circled with that, as you will see them participating on the coming debates of Congress.
Let's just quickly speak about the two unions who didn't come to the Congress, SASAU as well as SAFBO. Have you been in talks with them why they didn't come?
I was in talks with both of them actually yesterday morning, because for SASAU in particular, they had written us a letter, and I did explain to them that the letter they had written and the reasons they were staging for not coming to Congress were not correct, and I persuaded them to come. I still do so. Today is the second day, it's still quite early. I spoke to the leadership of the football players. I was expecting them to be here. I hear they would have been taken a decision of boycotting the Congress. I've said yesterday here, when people decide as a group of unions that they are boycotting the COSATU Congress for one or two reasons, then out of that group that has agreed on that, the rest come to Congress and only two remain outside. The two remaining outside must then understand that they would have been then misled. Let them come and join the Congress. It is still the third day.
When you look at something like that happening at the eve of the Congress, or even on the day of the Congress, those two statements sent by the two unions, you almost wonder if there are any other unions or affiliates of COSATU that will be following the same route as well eventually.
Look, remember, we are reminding each other the values here. You can't, as a leader of a trade union, decide that you're going to boycott a Congress of COSATU, having not gone to the constitutional structures of your union. And leaders tend to make that mistake. Not even a single union of COSATU recently that has gone to a Congress and a decision was mandated by members that they must boycott the Congress of COSATU. So it's those things, and they must learn from that. We would understand if people are taking it from a mandated process, but we hope they are learning. We do not anticipate any union of COSATU at this Congress right now to be walking out of this Congress. They shall finish the Congress, express themselves, and they shall report to their members.
We have, of course, spoken at length around the issues that have caused some of the divisions within COSATU. And I asked you this question once, and I'm going to ask you again. Are you willing to take blame now that the members have expressed yet again confidence in you? Another 3 years at the helm of COSATU, are you willing to take blame for the rifts within the federation?
Yesterday in the opening address, I did touch on that point, and I said I do not absolve myself from the challenges that have been happening in the federation. I do take responsibility, and I called on all the leadership to do exactly that. Take ownership of the challenges that have happened, but also take ownership of the successes that have happened. That's how we should be going forward.
Let's then just quickly, before we wrap up, speak about the financial statement that will be presented later on today. Of course, we won't be privy to that, but will COSATU be speaking about whether to press those criminal charges against its former secretary?
The media has spoken about the criminal charges. We have not spoken about the criminal charges. We have simply said in the report of Kopano there are recommendations on criminal activities, not against the former General Secretary of COSATU, against the organization Kopano Kimatla. And let's separate those two. There is no discussion that talks about criminal charges against the former General Secretary of COSATU. Should that be arising, we can see it along the way, but there is none at the moment.
Okay, perfect. And of course, we know as well on the program, although both Zwelinzima Vave as well as NUMSA have indicated that they're not appealing, but that matter still remains on the program and it's up for discussion.
It is up for discussion. Comrades will receive the full reports of what has happened, and the fact that the comrades decided not to appeal, the Congress must take a decision.
Well, thank you. That was Sdumo Dlamini, the president of COSATU. And as we indicated earlier on, later on today, what will be taking place is a discussion around the organizational report of COSATU, what's really happening within the party and why its numbers have been dwindling, as well as the financial statement and the closure of COSATU's investment arm, Kopano Kimatla. It's back to you guys in studio.